So check out one more time. This is the way to enable the color management under the main render setting panel. These two are the first and the second drop-down menu. And this is the other way to tone map the image with the new color management in Maya 2011, which relies on the render view panel, what we just see before. Now to make this concept more clear, we open again the Maya scene, and as you can see under the render setting panel, just to show you now, because before when I rendered the image I didn't use the color management from the render setting panel. I just enable this option now for you to see, and these are the value that DJX and Dagon suggest to use, and which I also suggest to use. Means for the default input profile, which actually controls the color profile that will be applied to your textures, which are contained in the scene, all your textures of the scene, you should set to the default sRGB gamma corrected color profile, okay? And for the default output profile, which is actually the frame buffer output image that will be rendered, you should input the linear, so will be no gamma correction, and you are still able to do it later in post with Photoshop. This is the best way to use this feature. The reason that I suggest you to go for this option, to choose this option, is because you should gamma correct all your textures, because many of your textures will be JPEG or will be in a color profile that need to be gamma corrected, that need to be tone mapped. But for your output, for the rendered image, the image that will be rendered from the frame buffer, I suggest you to go with the linear option, which will not tone map the output image, so you are still able to use Photoshop to tone map your image. And to make it one time more clear, let's open again the render view panel and display again the color manager that controls the render view image display. The display of the image in the render view panel is two different things. It's two different approach to tone map your images. One is under the render setting panel, and this one is directly from the main render view panel. As you can see, what I suggest you is to use the opposite. For the render setting panel, we decide to use the sRGB gamma correct for the first drop-down menu, and for the second I suggest you to use the linear. But here in the render view panel we should go in the opposite way, like we see before, and input the linear for the first drop-down menu, and from the render view panel, instead than to use the color management feature from the render setting panel. As I told you before, it's like to use Photoshop. It's like to use Photoshop in post. The reason that appear washed out in the render view panel is because this scene actually was not prepared for the color management feature. And if you open the Hypershade, I will show you that for this scene, the main tone mapping process, for the main tone mapping process, I used the old-fashioned gamma correct node applied to every texture in the which are connected to the material in the scene. If we, for example, we select one in the Hypershade panel and we select the input and output connection button, you will see here in the work area is displayed the gamma correct node, which until this new feature, color management feature of Maya 2011 came out, we always use this way to tone map for the tone mapping process with Maya. And actually it's very simple because I will show you how to do it. First you see this is the Hypershade, and you select the utilities option, and here are listed the standard Maya utilities, and here you will see already the new color profile node, but now we don't touch for now because in this scene I didn't use. And here you see the standard gamma correct utility node. So now I will show you. I just create a new gamma correct utility node. I will teach a little bit how to work in the work area. Okay, now we will replace this gamma correct node. We will replace this gamma correct node, which was already connected to this texture file and to the main Maya material, with this new that I just created. The way to do this, to work in the work area panel, now since for the tutorial I don't have much space to show you the connections. Anyway, I always suggest you to hover the mouse in the work area panel over the yellow lines which actually display the connection. You see, file from the tooltip, file 5400 out color, go to the gamma correct value field, and here if you click here you will see there is two connections. Is out value of the gamma correct node, go to the reflection color and to the diffuse color of the Maya material. So we can see better here. If we select 2 times, it should appear in the attribute editor. If you scroll up in the Maya material, you will see that for the diffuse color field is connected to the gamma correct node, which is this one, you see, and also the reflection is connected to the gamma correct node. And to show you, if I click here, you will see the gamma correct node. And remember that the texture must be connect to the value field of the gamma correct node. Please, I would like to draw your attention on the value 0.454, 0.454, input for all the 3 fields of the gamma correct node. This is the way we use it. It's the default value to use the tone mapping, to do the tone mapping with Maya before Maya 2011. Now, just to disconnect the texture called the file 5400 button and drag the gamma correct node on the Mia material and choose Other. But this is already too complicated, so I will show you elaborate shader networks later. Now it's much more easy to do like this. You just move the hypershade on this side, and what you will do is just drag the gamma correct node to the color, to the diffuse color field. You see the line, the connection appear in the work area, and you do the same for the reflection color field. Drag one more time with the middle mouse button the gamma correct node. Okay, so you connect the gamma correct node to these two fields of the Mia material. Now you just need to connect the text to the gamma correct node, so you just select here the gamma correct node. You see the value field is not connected to anything, so just drag the text file 5400 to the value field here. Now everything is like before, just that we use a new gamma correct utility node. The last thing to do is remember, input the value 0 for 454, just copy, control copy and paste here for all the three fields. That's it. This was the old-fashioned way to do the tone mapping in Maya before came out this Maya 2011. Since 1 second ago I show you how to work in the work area of the Hypershade panel with the elaborate shader network, which is not this. This is a very simple network, but before I just show you, okay, I will show you because it's ugly if I don't show you. We just select the lines, okay, that connect the gamma correct node to the Mia material, and we delete one more time. And as I showed you before, you press the middle mouse button or the scroll wheel, whatever you use, and you drag the gamma correct node on top of the Mia material icon. And then in this case you see many fields are listed. In this case we need the diffuse and the reflection color, correct? So you just click diffuse first and repeat the procedure to drag the gamma correct node on top of the Mia material and choose the reflection color. It's the same workflow of what we did before. If just check in the attribute editor, you see they are connect. So you have many ways to do the things in Maya. I just would like to keep it simple for you. Now I will also explain you the reason why with this scene, which is called the masterclass string scene, which I use mostly to show you the strings option and to show you how to use the strings, these new features, lighting and rendering features, together with many other mental ray features, like for example I will show you now. First we will open again the render view. You see it's wash out now. So one more time, display the color management feature of the render view panel, and this is the correct workflow when you don't use gamma correct node like I showed you just 1 second ago. Everything will be fine, will be not wash out. In this case it's wash out because we are still, this scene still use the old way to tone mapping using the gamma correct utility node. So just restore the standard sRGB and you will see that everything is perfect. The main reason that I use this scene to show you this approach is because it's very easy and quick. Instead to go through the render setting panel, color management, but I prepare a scene only for that also, that soon we will open. Anyway, I would like also to show you how you use this feature. Means now you see this actually is a 32-bit floating image, what is displayed now in the render view panel. So just use it like when you use Photoshop in post. You see when you increase the exposure, You see how many color information there is. If this was a 8-bit integer image, you cannot see all this smooth transition of the exposure. You see, the exposure, when you increases in a very smooth way, which is impossible when you use 8-bit integer image. And the same goes for the contrast. You see, everything is this is definitely a high range floating point image. You can see everything is very smooth. So this is a brute force approach to tone mapping in Maya 2011, even if you use the old style tone mapping procedure by using the gamma correct utility node. Now just let's restore the default value to 0. Now we just give a look to the last field here in the default view color manager. Is the LUT file. Actually LUT stands for lookup table, or at least I guess it's so. Yeah, but I'm quite confident it's like that. And from the main PDF, let's see what the online help say. Using lookup tables files with color management. To display the color profile attribute, the display color profile attribute determines your input to the lookup table file. Most lookup table files receive linear or logarithmic input. Set the display color profile to Cineon log so that your lookup table file receives a logarithmic input. Honestly, I never use this feature. I guess that you just is used to use a lookup table that you previously saved, that you have on your hard drive, to apply a color profile to the image which is displayed in the render view panel. And to see exactly all of this concept clearly explained by Fredrik Averpil, I will not read all of his thread, but this is very clear explanation, the theory behind the linear workflow, the tone mapping process, and how you can see here, he said that there seems to be a general confusion on linear workflow and how 3D compositing packages works, and what the sRGB and Gamma 2.2 is for and why, and it's a good idea to render image in linear data throughout the pipeline. And here he explained that most graphic software use a linear data model. Simply put, this means that the mathematics used when creating digital image works in a linear fashion. This is example. Linear means that that calculates in a linear fashion, means 2 plus 2 is equal 4. In effect, you can say that linear math is applied when a 3D render is calculating what the resulting image should be like. However, and this is the difference between the linear and not linear, our display devices, means in this case is my monitor on which I'm recording this presentation, is a laptop monitor, such as monitors, doesn't use the linear math when visualizing this data as image. They use the non-linear logarithmic math due to the technology used in recording and displaying images. For them, this could in some case mean that the linear data, example 2 plus 2, which in the linear workflow is 4, will be interpreted as 2 plus 2 is equal 10, logarithmic. Understand? In order to make the linear data which makes up an image show on a device that need to visualize non-linear data, means our monitor, we need to convert, or rather correct, means gamma correct, the linear data image. This is done using gamma, means gamma correction, gamma node, or the new color management feature of Maya 2011. I think this explains quite well what the linear and non-linear workflow and terms means.